Say hello to my little friend. Fajny wzór? Fajny? Mi się też podoba. Zaczynamy, kochanieńcy. Witam was serdecznie, szanowne osoby, na Ralindelowym streamie Halloweenowym. Zanim zaczniemy, pozwólcie, że przedstawię osoby wspierające na Patronite.pl Ralindel. Dwie nieskończoności, o Caroline i Dakrowa. Pojedyncze nieskończoności, Adam Lendas, Michał Gajek, Aleksander Bratkowski, No Killa, Flavius Ajember oraz Marok W. Dawcy pizzy: Adam Pawłowski, Ranafę, Dawid Korzeniowski, 0198, Konrad Samryn, Fingal, Szamisen Puchcio, Strażnik Sanktuarium, Ala Marciniak, członek komisji WZK Janek oraz Call Me Kerdok. Dawcy kawy z ciastkiem: Michał Piotrowski, Patrycja Zwarden, Krzysztof Marchewka, Zygmunt Brzęczak, Andrzej... Jacek Maksymowicz. Gdzie ten Andrzej? Jacek Stolarski, kartografiowy, Roman Marcymak, Olmady Gamer, Wiktor Okowski, Kuba z Poznania, Borsuk Cukrowy, Adrian Mrazik, Smutny Michał Skoczyński, Nikodem Cupryś, Andrzej Dubiel, Joanna Karpeta, Proton Nawian, Kryptianus, Chris Poland, Aiden Kri, Bartomiej, Koci Pilotaż, Marcin Lalak, Gruby Mefisto, Sylwanelka, Prometał, Hypatia, Liczkość, The Option, Radamor, Eryk Fos, Behanort, Mapipaj, Fukoro, Natmisza, Aneku, Silius, Szefo oraz Erbirk. Osoby dające kawę: Szymon Popławski, Rozlubina, George Soros, Patryk 128, Łukasz Ciesielski, Masaż, Szetow Wędzony, Archipan Krator, Wszechkosmobytu, Maksymilian Kocimski, Krzysztof Grębowski, Junkersium, Makary Jasiński, Kot Gruszka, Daniel Kociu, Stenolech, Miejscowy, Olaf Barbarian, Vampire Lords, Emil Miku 39, X, Jaszu 2, Kicerek, Kropster, Dom, Egg, Adam Tomuś, Kocureł, Snawkin, Beowulf oraz Nowa. I wreszcie osoby dające herbatę. Co za dziwna nazwa: Jacek Wiśniewski, Marchew Zwyczajna, Tomasz Olszewski, Monika Piechocińska, Arkadiusz Gumiński, Ryszard Bryliński, Socjalistka w Polsce, Bartosz Zawadzki, Bonboni 3, Lane from Wired, Ernest Palimski, Hubert Mazur, Michał Smereka, Jakub Bździel, Łukasz Puskota, Albert Stompur, Dawid Kozłowski, Ania Jano, Ecie Pecie, KTBM 32, Lakardar, Antybristler, Pochenek, Chikowi, Aniela M, Sonilink, Solas, Łukasz, Adrian, Wlubelch, Misiek, Darumir, Jachia, Łukasz, Claudine, Feiner, Fexeles, Jarmir, Mango, IC47, Relilos, Zylwo oraz Fradek. Spooky. Witam was serdecznie. Jestem dziś ubrany w polską dynię. Mam nadzieję, że byliście grzeczni, inaczej szatan po was przyjdzie. Boże, Pili w Pec jest pierwszy na liście, widzę. Ale tak poważnie. Chciałem wam powiedzieć, że było troszeczkę... Jezus Mariusz, kto to? Chciałem wam powiedzieć, że moje piekiełko wczorajsze było większejsze niż cokolwiek, czego dzisiaj doświadczymy. Ponieważ nie dość, że odwołała mi się terapia, że jakby były pewne problemy organizacyjno-komunikacyjne z ludźmi w świecie, to jeszcze do kompletu w tym wszystkim okazało się, że musiałem się, jak tylko się obudziłem, musiałem dygać do weterynarza, ponieważ Rudy się źle czuł. Biedny kotełek się źle czuł i trzeba było mu zastrzyki dawać i Rudy był bardzo obrażony i bardzo straumatyzowany. Dzisiaj czuje się lepiej, ale wczoraj było strasznie. I czeka go USG brzucha. I generalnie rzecz biorąc, to był bardzo zły dzień. To był taki dzień, który byłby lepszy, jakbym jednak miał terapię, ale nie miałem terapii. I było bardzo dużo stresu. Także powiem, że dzisiaj przychodzę do was, że dzisiaj przychodzę do was, żebyśmy się trochę postraszyli. Jak normalnie na halloweenowych streamach mam makijaż, ale mówię wam, że trochę walczę z problemami ze skórą i dzisiaj po prostu nie chciałem się w żaden sposób babrać, żeby problemów ze skórą nie pogarszać. Więc jestem zamiast tego halloweenowo-marchewkowy. Jakby mówię, na dynię nas nie było stać, więc mamy marchewki. Moja psina miała straczkę przestrzeni, ma 800 zł piesek nowy. No nie, my zapłaciliśmy teraz 200 za leczenie Rudego i czekają nas kolejne 200 na USG. I mam nadzieję, że będzie git. Trzymajcie kciuki. Jakby we wtorek USG jest zaplanowane wtorek i myślę, że USG oficjalnie sprawia, że kot jest bardziej przebadany w tym roku. W sensie ma więcej badań w tym roku niż ja, nie? Także kupa śmiechu z niedoborem kupy kociej, znaczy się. A zastanawiałem się co dzisiaj zrobić. Czy zrobić tradycyjnie Jackboxa, Trivia Murder Party, bo jest to pewna świecka tradycja, ale mam wrażenie, że nie wszyscy że pani mają po angielsku i to część ludzi eliminuje, co nie jest koniecznie najfajniejszą częścią zabawy. Więc dzisiaj zagramy sobie w Slay the Princess. Wiecie, uroczą grę o zabijaniu księżniczek, bo były niegrzeczne, or something. Mam nadzieję, że zostaniecie w związku z tym ze mną na ten wieczór. A jeżeli chcecie regular programming, to musicie poczekać do poniedziałku. Oczywiście podczas gry jak najbardziej możemy gadać o wielu innych rzeczach i myślę, że spodziewajcie się, że będziemy rozmawiać o wielu rzeczach. Także o najbardziej szatańskiej rzeczy, która wyszła, czyli o Veilguardzie, który wyszł dzisiaj i który ma dużo bardzo mieszanego, mam wrażenie, odbioru. Natomiast ja po obejrzeniu jednej recenzji, po przeczytaniu innej recenzji stwierdziłem, że nie będę próbował gonić za trendami i streamować go na premierę, bo po pierwsze dalej nie jestem przekonany, czy multistream by to udźwignął. Jednak wymiana procesora powinna stać się jak najszybciej. A z drugiej strony nie jestem przekonany, czy ja się będę dobrze przy tej grze bawił, więc zamiast tego zrobiłem sobie rzecz, której nie spodziewałem się, że kiedykolwiek jeszcze sobie zrobię. To znaczy zainstalowałem Inkwizycję i stwierdziłem, dobra, może tym razem uda mi się ją przejść. Bo za pierwszym razem wszedłem w jakichś 80% i się poddałem, bo mi się znudziła. Więc zobaczymy, czy teraz coś z tego wyjdzie. Natomiast o wszystkich głupich komentarzach dotyczących Veilguarda i ludziach płaczących, że nie ma jednej zarezerwowanej dla heteryków postaci, pogadamy sobie na spokojnie, bez żadnego stresu w poniedziałek. Widziałem tą recenzję po 100%, którą wrzuciłeś. Jest ciekawa. Gość wskazuje ciekawe rzeczy. I no, na pewno ma bardzo pełny obraz gry, natomiast dalej mam dużo obaw co do tego. Słuchajcie, widzę, że Slay the Princess ma polską wersję z napisami, więc zaraz będziemy więc zaraz będziemy groć. Ale chciałem najpierw docenić. Niezależnie od tego, jakie koszmary napotkasz w tym mrocznym miejscu, idź za głosem serca. Nie ma przedwczesnych zakończeń, nie ma złych decyzji. Są tylko świeże perspektywy i nowe początki. To opowieść o miłości. Ja nic nie wiem o tej grze poza premisem, to znaczy, że mamy iść zabić księżniczkę, więc jakby mam nadzieję, że to będzie miła gra o radości. Że to będzie dobra gra do dobrości. Ma ładne opcje w tego. Przy przystępności. Dobra. Let's do this shit. Zobaczmy, co z tego wyniknie. No zaraz zobaczymy, zaraz się przekonamy. O, pękła jej twarz. Rozdział 1. Bohater i królewna.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Brzmi prosto.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Zero presji. Dowiedz się
I'm
więcej.
talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to
Tam.
put an end to her.
Ja bym jednak wolał ptaki. Dinozaury w końcu. Tam ludzie zaraz.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Dzięki gościu. Dzięki gościu. Zawsze się zrzuca na jakiegoś biednego członka proletariatu, żeby zabić księżniczkę. Very normal. Masz tu jakieś dowody?
You're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
O. Czyli mam ją zabić, bo akurat byłem w okolicy. Brzmi rozsądnie.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
To nie było specjalnie przekonujące. Nie przejdzie tego, że nie mam nic przeciwko końcowi świata.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Nie może tego zrobić ktoś inny.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules.
Bez sensu.
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Okej. Przestanę tę
Yes,
nagrodę?
but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Sprytnie. Niech będzie. Pójdę i porozmawiam z nią, a jeśli okaże się tak zła, jak twierdzisz, może ją uśmiercę. Do niczego się nie zobowiązuję, dopóki nie będę miał okazji spotkać się z nią twarzą w twarz. Brzmi rozsądnie. Ja nie wiem, to brzmi rozsądnie.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Tam zaraz
So sure,
zgubieni.
go, talk to her.
Dobrze,
See how that
dobrze,
turns
okej,
out for
okej,
all of us.
okej,
You make your
okej.
way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
No dobrze.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No idziemy do chaty.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
A nie mogę jej stołem jebnąć? Ale dobrze, weźmy
You take
nóż.
the blade from the table.
Weźmy nóż, weźmy mój
It'd be
stabber i
rather
Maxtaber.
difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Idziemy do piwnicy.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
To ja.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
No siema. Hej, przyszedłem, żeby cię zabić.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Co, ona już drugi przerwała? To jest zasadnicze, to jest rzecz, nad którą się powinniśmy pochylić. Tu są dwa miejsca na łańcuchy. Ona ma jeden łańcuch na ręku. Co się stało z drugim łańcuchem? Dlaczego drugi łańcuch nie jest zainstalowany?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
No, dokładnie. Tak, to nie był żart. Wcale nie.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Ja
You
tak...
ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten
O,
your
jak
grip on
udaje
the blade.
kotka! Ojejku, jejku, mam wielkie oczy!
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Ooh.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Dobra, to let's go for it.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh,
Haha!
this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Easy
But is it
done.
over? Really over?
Oczywiście, że tak, ona nie żyje.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
Dzień dobry, właśnie dostałem pana od gościa, którego wspieram za opinię inną od niego w sprawie zaimków w nowym Dragon Age'u. No to słuchaj, to jest dobry powód, żeby gościa nie wspierać ewidentnie, no.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Okej. No to odchodzimy.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
Ups.
Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
It was in this moment I realized I fucked up.
What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
To jest moja nagroda? Dzięki.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Dzięki, mordo.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Zamknięte chaty to moje ulubione miejsce.
Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Nie słyszałeś narratora? Cieszę się, my się cieszymy. No,
Really
easy.
happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
No dobra, wcale się nie cieszę. I wcale nie wiem tego dlatego, że jesteś ostatnią osobą, z którą rozmawiałem.
Because I have an idea to get us out of here. Though you're probably not going to like it.
Okej.
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
No, czy użycie ostrza na wierzch nie zabiłoby nas? Nie bylibyśmy martwi?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it.
Ktoś tam, a skąd ja mam wiedzieć, czy dostajesz na inne konto bloka? Ja nie wiem, jakie są twoje inne konta, mordo.
In a sense we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
No wszystko pięknie. Byłbym bardzo niepocieszony, gdybyśmy na dobre umarli. Jesus Christ. Nie zamierzam ryzykować śmierci z powodu twojego dziwacznego
I
przeczucia.
suppose we've got all the time in the world for you to change your mind. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
Księżniczka już nie żyje.
Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voice's pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist.
To jest bardzo komfortowe.
Forever.
O! Good ending! Widzicie? To wystarczyło. Widzicie? Wszystko się udało. Wszyscy biją mi brawo. Jestem rozsądny? Nie wiem. Wszystko jest fine. Dziękuję pięknie, to było super. No właśnie nie wiem, no już skoro przeszliśmy, to chyba skończone, nie? Dobry jestem w te gry komputerowe. Wszyscy mi biją brawo. Ja się czuję dobrze, nie wiem jak wy się czujecie, ale powinniście czuć się dobrze. I po prostu... Dostałem polecenie, wykonałem polecenie, problem rozwiązany. No nie wiem co tutaj się złego stało. Nie podjąłem żadnej złej decyzji po prostu. Jestem tak podekscytowany, że sam sobie biję brawo. Okej. Czemu ma... Co tu się dzieje? Bardzo dziękujemy za grę. Dowodem naszej wdzięczności przygotowaliśmy listę odtwarzania specjalnie dla ciebie. Jeśli chcesz zrobić zrzut ekranu, już... Okej, dobra. Nie... Wróć do menu głównego. Trochę marudziłem, ale przeszło mi, dokładnie tak. To co, spróbujemy jeszcze raz? Spróbujemy jeszcze raz? Zobaczymy, czy księżnicz... Ja nie wiem. Tytuł gry, zrobiłem rzecz, która była w tytule, to chyba tak należało, nie?
You're on a path. You're here
No dobra,
to
to już... Tę część już znamy, tak? I pomyślałem, że być może jednym powodem, dla którego zamierzam zniszczyć świat, jest właśnie to, że ją zamknięto.
While I appreciate the mental exercise we are running up against, nevertheless, let me
O,
assure
takie same
you,
odpowiedzi
the
są.
princess, and before
Dobra.
you decide to waste causality does it's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or
Tak. Dobra, nie mądruj się. Let's do this. Cudownie, zawsze chciałem obalić monarchię, viva la revolution.
Spirit.
Przegapiłem
You
taką
make your
dobrą
way up
odpowiedź za
the
pierwszym
short
razem.
path, a warning. She will lie. We're not gonna go. Ignore him.
Idź do chaty.
The interior of the cat blade is your implement.
Nie, wejdziemy do piwnicy. Jestem tak potężny, że poradzę sobie bez tego.
Her voice.
Hello?
This. Don't let it fool you.
No dobra, tę część jeszcze znamy. Przybywam na ratunek. Nie tylko sprawdzam, co u ciebie słychać.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a head. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay.
No dobrze, porozmawiamy chwilę. Jeżeli jestem pierwszą osobą, którą widzisz od jakiegoś czasu, To co jadłaś, co piłaś?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Okej?
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Oho.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Podejrzane bardzo. Nie, ja chcę tego. Nie do wiary mogę cię zamknąć. Dobra, wyciągnąć cię stąd. Czemu nie mogę więcej pytać o jedzenie? Dobra, co zrobisz, jeśli wypuszczycie na wolność?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
Oho.
It's not like you'd believe me.
Coś jest z tobą nie tak.
Would everything feel right about you if you were locked away in a hole by yourself for as long as you can remember?
Pewnie.
Just how long has she been down here?
So, did they tell you why I'm supposed to be so dangerous?
Nie. Miałem nadzieję, że ty mi powiesz.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
No tak.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
To prawda, nie wiem dlaczego masz stanowić zagrożenie dla świata.
I don't trust that. And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
Zostawią tego kwiatu jest pół światu?
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me.
Okej.
This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking
Zgadzam
about.
się, twoja sytuacja jest pojebana.
Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to?
Mam pewne pomysły, dlaczego mogłabyś chcieć,
We
no?
both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything.
Trzeba przyznać, że narrator ma bardzo słabą pozycję w tej rozmowie.
And a subjugating monarch, no less.
O, może zostanę z tobą i dotrzymam ci towarzystwa. Może wtedy wszyscy będą zadowoleni.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help.
No co, bojga byłoby łatwiej.
But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
O.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sake. Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retreat.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip
Okej.
these chains. She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade. Okay, If we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose you slowly creep down the basement stairs.
Uuu.
It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
Ten pokój ma jedno wyjście, jest na suficie albo za nami.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Mam wrażenie, że mieliśmy zły początek, myślę, że możemy wszystko zacząć od nowa?
Coward.
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
No dobra.
Eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Ja zaczekam.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't
Czekaj
wait
dalej.
for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okej. O! Czyli to nie jest koniec.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
No dobrze. Mam okropne poczucie déjà vu. Chwilę, czy to już nie wydarzyło? Dobra, nie. Ale ja umarłem, co ja tutaj robię? Ona znowu mnie zabije. Dobra, nie.
Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all.
Dobrze, dobrze.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Załóżmy, że mówię prawdę i to wszystko się już zdarzyło. Czemu mam cię słuchać? Czemu mam zawracać sobie głowę robieniem czegokolwiek?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
No dobrze, dobrze, dowiedzmy się.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Okej.
We did our best with the information we were given. And yet you still died, didn't you? So, great, congratulations, you've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
I pod dom przyszły dzieci, chciały cukierków, a ja o Hell-o-ween zapomniałem, cukierków nie miałem, ale piesia nas czeka. Jesus. U nas nawet dzieci nie chodziły. U nas nie było dzieciaków w ogóle.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? All the more reason to keep our wits about us, should we even return to the cabin. We could find a safe little hole somewhere instead. You have to go to the cabin. If you don't say the
musisz
princess
iść.
is going to
Mógłbym
end the
pójść
world,
gdziekolwiek
which
indziej.
you're always going to be a part of, even if you're cowering in a hole. There's no escaping your responsibility here.
No dobra, pogadajmy o tej
Just be
królewnie.
quick about it.
Ostatnim razem królewna mnie zabiła. Królewna zabiła mnie i rozerwała na strzępy. Pozwól, że zacytuję cię z ostatniego razu, to tylko królewna. Dlaczego królewna była w stanie rozerwać mnie na strzępy gołymi rękoma?
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
Kto ją zamknął w piwnicy? Co to za miejsce?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Dzięki, panie narrator. Jeżeli to ludzie ją zamknęli, to czemu oni nie mogli jej uśmiercić? Czemu to spadło na mnie?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only
jestem
person
special.
capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Special can mean all sorts of things. Don't let it make you careless. We need clear thoughts and pricked ears.
No dobra. Jesteś tajemniczy, czego mi nie mówisz?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
To ja już widziałem, moje zdanie potrafi być bardzo proste, jak chcę.
If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. You're afraid, aren't you? Just like us. Of course I'm afraid. Fear is an extremely normal thing to feel when the fate of the entire world is at stake. But that's not the only thing you're afraid of. You're scared of something worse.
Nowy głos!
Stop projecting your neuroses onto me and just get to the cabin already.
Dobra.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Czuję się jak bohater.
A warning before you go any further.
Okej.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
Nie,
everything
to już
it can
przebyliśmy.
to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
Ciekawe, ile tych głosów jest.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
No, pęk może być
It's a
problemem.
very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Idziemy do chaty. Czy coś się zmieniło?
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and
lustro.
dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Chcę zobaczyć lustro najpierw.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wyczyść lustro.
You reach forward and rub
Ooh.
your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone.
Ta chata jest inna od
Very
poprzedniej.
different. I wonder why. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Dobra, weźmy to ostrze.
You take the blade from the table.
Idziemy do piwnicy.
The door to the basement
Tak przynajmniej nie robię the expression.
revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
Ooh.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
Dżungla.
You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away, and remember, she is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified.
No i pięknie.
I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Królewna znów jest zakuta w łańcuch, nic nam nie grozi. Zamierzasz się na mnie rzucić, prawda? Przejrzałem cię, nie musimy się pozabijać nawzajem, wiesz o tym, prawda?
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain.
Nice.
You are devoured. I guess that's it then. Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place.
Ooh.
A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as
Nie
they
spodziewałem się, że będą elementy wor.
Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
You spoke when you needed to act.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Ooh.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something.
Co możemy
You still have
zrobić?
that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
Wypluj mnie albo się zabije, nikt stąd nie wyjdzie. O, to ciekawe.
I'm so very, very patient. If it takes lives and lives and lives to swallow my way to freedom, then that is what I'll do.
Okej.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
I don't think we can talk our way out of this. We are drowning in death. There's Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
The pulling has turned to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Your flesh screams as your...
You can't hold me forever.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. But will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh. Your vision finally begins to blur, your eyes clouding over. What little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul to breathe.
It's
Your
creepy.
lungs mercifully give out before you have to suffer another burning, liquefying moment. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ja błędnie założyłem, że księżniczka jest racjonalną aktorką w tej dyskusji.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
Tam był chapter 8? Mi się wydawało, że 3.
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do?
Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
Za sekundę do was wrócę. Brawo, ludy. Dobranoc. Dzikie zwierzę.
That's just because she devoured us and we dissolved away. We don't even exist as a body anymore. We're still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that better?
She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't
Rudy.
stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
A dziękuję, Dahold.
I guess that's it then. This is us now.
No okej, jesteśmy lasem.
We're the woods. Okay.
Od dzisiaj jestem lasem. Rudy, kurde, chłopie, wczoraj byłeś bardzo chory, dzisiaj będziesz bardzo wkurwiający? To są twoje dwa tryby? To coś, co nas obserwuje, czym on jest? Dlaczego ktokolwiek miałby teraz cokolwiek robić? Jest tak super, podoba mi się to? Dlaczego jesteś taka miła? Nie jesteś potworem? Nie zjadłaś mnie?
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
Spójrz na przerażenie w swoim sercu.
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
Okay, girl. Okay.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be. I don't like this. It's better for us to be the woods. I don't want to
Nie,
go
nie chcę
back.
być lasem.
No! I devoured you! I won! I put things back the way they were supposed to be!
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were.
Ooh.
A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole.
Ooh.
And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be.
Czy to są węże czy żebra?
At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
Wężebra.
I feel empty, don't you?
We're just like her. And she's just like us. We never should have left her. I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live.
Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
Nigdy nie chciałem cię zabić, naprawdę nie możemy być tacy sami. Musiałem położyć temu kres temu, co się z nami stało. Albo uśmierć królewnę. Uwolnijmy ją, zobaczmy co się stanie.
Devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming. And that other thing is... We'll just have to wait and find out when it happens.
Ignore him. His words only confuse us. Just do it.
You're tired, aren't you? No, I'm not. I'm... fine. Whatever. Cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
I think we are happy, actually. We might not be a part of her, but being around her is almost the same. Almost.
I didn't think you would do that after everything. It's so cold without you.
Ooh. That was interesting. Ale nie masz okazji, żeby odpowiedzieć, co się zabrało, pozostawiając w jej miejsce coś innego.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Chyba powinienem spojrzeć w lustro.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. That thing reeks of death.
Rudy, kurde, chłopie.
I don't want to look at us.
Podejdź do lustra.
I'm begging you, don't do.
Lustro nigdy wcześniej cię nie przerażało?
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Podchodzę do lustra. Zniknięcie lustro zostało. Pora przekonać się, co w nim widać. It's you. Jesteś sam w miejscu, które jest puste. Panuje tu cisza. Udaj się do chaty. Jestem w chacie. Podejdź do niej.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
I can fix her. Czym jesteś?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
A jak myślisz, czym jestem?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Czy to ty wysłałeś mnie w uśmieciu królewny, czy to ty mnie tu uwięziłaś?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Dar kruchej powłoki.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is like a shadow of me, a memory of what she used to be, bound to the wounds of distance and time. She will make for a scarred and beautiful heart.
Okej.
Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
Wypuść ją stąd.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Okej.
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Znasz narratora?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Co teraz?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Ile zapomnę?
Everything, until we meet again.
A co jeśli nie pozwolę, byś mi to zrobiła? Ile jeszcze części muszę znaleźć?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Wysłałem mnie w uśmieciu królewnej i powstrzymał ją przed zniszczeniem świata. Jeśli ci pomogę, czy to właśnie zrobisz?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Tylko kwestia definicji, co zamierzasz zrobić, jeśli ci pomogę.
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Bardzo obiecujące. A co jeśli nie pozwolę, byś mi to zrobiła?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Nie wracam.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Czekaj wiecznie.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone.
Czy był jakiś update? Ja gram dlatego, że potrzebowaliśmy halloweenowej gry.
I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage.
A co się zmieniło w update'cie?
You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
O nie, nie mówcie, że crash. To jest crash, czy ona się po prostu wyłączyła? Czy to jest celowo? W sensie samodzielne wyłączanie się gier nie jest nową rzeczą dla mnie, więc...
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Tak myślałem. Nie boisz się, że znajdę sposób, żeby cię zabić?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
No dobrze. Let's
She
go.
asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Co podacie wnosił miał? Jesus Christ. What?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a you're here to slay.
Uwaga, możesz pominąć dialog, który pojawił się wcześniej, naciskając tab na klawiaturze albo przycisk R1 na kontrolerze. Okej. Naprawdę jesteśmy anarchistą, czy uśmiercenie... A czemu się dźwięk wyłączył?
While I appreciate the mental
dobra.
exercise we are running, nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because, and before you decide to wait,
Dobra. O, w porządku, dzięki, że powiedziałeś mi, co robić.
don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the prince a warning before you go any. She will lie.
No dobrze. Idziemy do chaty.
The interior of the cabin is almost.
No dobrze, weźmy
You take the
ostrze
blade from the table.
i do piwnicy.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a
To nie jest
staircase
początek.
faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below.
Czołem.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Dobra, tu nie ma. Rzeczywiście próbowałem cię uśmiercić, ale skąd jak mogłeś tak pomyśleć? Nie.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we... The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
W związku podrywasz mnie, what?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Okej. Są ludzie, którzy uważają, że ty prowadzisz do końca świata, bla bla. Jak masz na imię?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or Her Majesty.
Gdzie jest mój nóż?
Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail.
Jak mam cię stąd wydostać?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Jesus Christ.
Her sharp eyes. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. Right? She is.
Czy wiesz, dlaczego jestem tutaj, żeby cię zabić?
Do you?
Wiem tyle, im powiedziano, czy w to wierzę, czy nie, to już zupełnie inna sprawa.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Są ludzie, dobra, no to powiedzmy jej.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Kotek, kochotek.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here?
No
Chained
dobra,
to a wall.
to już słyszeliśmy.
Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Rudy.
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
O.
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for what...
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whoever sent you to slay me,
No dobra,
claimed
to
I
już
was a threat to
słyszeliśmy,
the
no.
world. But they didn't tell you that doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think
She has a point.
so. I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd
O,
open
tego
an
nie było.
orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
Dobrze, Mr. Beast.
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
Ślepe
So do you
zaufanie.
trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This
To
is about
słyszeliśmy już.
risk.
Dobra, starczy
Oh,
rozmów.
have you decided what...
You know.
Zamierzam nadal trzymać się tu w zamknięciu, przynajmniej przez jakiś czas. Poznamy się lepiej, a wtedy zdecyduję, co zrobić.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't...
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of it. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret...
You have to make...
W porządku, wyciągnijmy cię stąd.
Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
You're making a... No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the... They're large and heavy. Far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of...
A jeżeli nie znajdzie się klucz, masz jakieś inne pomysły poza odcięciem cię?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
Jesus Christ.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs... Is someone else here?
Spróbuję otworzyć
You
drzwi.
try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess and... You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been easier for who? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you... The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of...
You won't like what happens if you...
No dobrze, zobaczmy, co się stanie, jak ją uratujemy. No, czemu nie?
Against your better judgment,
Jesus, jakie
place
oczy.
the blade against the princess's arm. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you. Her fierce... How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like...
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Savage.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Ostrzyż ją.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before... Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get...
Opieraj się.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
No coś wiemy przynajmniej, nie?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
No dobra, to już znamy. Tyle już po tobie znam twoje sztuczki.
Tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the... Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust
Nowy
a
głos.
word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here. For us and for them. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, you know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you.
Odwróć się i
I'm not
odejdź.
so sure running away is the best idea. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Czy się tylko dokąd nie zamierzam się udać do chaty, nie zamierzam wchodzić do chaty.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again.
Już dobrze pójdę do tej, odwróć się i odejdź ponownie.
Really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we? Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
Świat wokół ciebie się rozpada, jak fizyczna materia zastępuje teksturowanie nicość, znowu trafiasz do długiej ciszy, wraca ci pamięć. Zadaje słuchać dudnienie dźwięk wielu dźwięków. Pulsowanie staje się coraz głośniejsze w miarę zbliżania się czegoś innego. Już wiesz, co zamieszkało puste przestrzenie. Macki badają tkaniny rzeczywistości, kończyny odnajdują twoją świadomość, się wokół nie owijają, nie jesteś już sam. Zagadnienie, dlaczego tu jesteś, nie dokończono mnie. Opór, palce przyciągają pazurami po szklanej powierzchni twojej duszy. Ta powłoka jest pełna ciebie, tak dla nas bezużyteczna, jeśli nie przynosi kolejnych darów. Siła naciska na twoją wolę. Nie możesz wrócić, nie tam. Żal, ten świat jest nienaprawialny, musimy utkać coś nowego. Kiwający palec, w tym miejscu jest niewiele nici, nie zmarnuj jej, jestem naszym jedynym zbawieniem.
You're on a path.
Dobra. W milczeniu rusz w kierunku chaty.
You make your way up a warning. She will lie. We're not gonna go. Ignore him.
No dobra, idźmy do chaty.
The interior of the blade.
Dobra, możemy w ogóle nie wziąć noża. Po prostu pójdźmy bez noża do piwnicy.
Her voice.
Hello?
Przybywam na
How many
ratunek.
times do I have to?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the prince. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If
Zobaczę, co da się zrobić.
you're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge. No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere up. Doubtful. Whoever locked the.
No dobra. Pójdę sprawdzić na górze, może klucz wciąż tam gdzieś leży, jeżeli nie, przynajmniej... Dobra.
Okay. I'll be here.
You attempt to make your. Is someone else.
No dobra.
Your
Wypuść mnie.
shouts and plead. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the time.
Spróbuję
You
otworzyć.
try the door.
No dobrze, no.
You make it easier for everyone. Look at the
I
mess.
heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic, right?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force.
She barely hesitates before raising her hand to her mouth, her teeth tearing as she rips her flesh from her bone. A sound. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's or we could use. You won't like what happens if you.
Dobra. O, mam tylko opcję uratuj.
Against your you cut into her. The blade is sharp. Her lip. She didn't so much. No. She smiled. How is she still smiling?
Thank you.
No dobra.
Let's get out of here.
No. We won't have any of that. As the princess approaches
No
the
dobra,
bottom
czyli-
stair. Wait. Watch me.
What?
No niestety...
Okay, there's no going back now. We bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart, but she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to... I don't know what's come over you. But if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you.
she pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart.
Już robiliśmy opcję ostrzegania i
It's not enough to
to
stop
nie
her.
pomogło.
You feel her claws
Jak
in
ją
your throat.
ostrzegłem, to ona mnie zabiła.
Somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh. You collapse to the floor. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to... It can't just end as much as I'd prefer. Everything goes dark. And you die.
O, teraz jest wiedźma z kolei, tego jeszcze nie było.
You're on a path in the... You're here to...
Mój ulubiony głos nie będzie? What? Ale już śmierciłem krewnie, pewnie żona również zabiła mnie, ale na pewno ją dopadłem, czy znowu tu jestem.
you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first... If he doesn't remember what... Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our... You know I can... Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue. Bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Też mówimy prawdę i to wszystko rzeczywiście się już wydarzyło. Czy mam cię słuchać, czy mam sobie zawracać go robieniem czegokolwiek?
Those are two very different...
No dobra, to
Let's
było
say
już.
for a moment that you died, but you were just... I can, and I believe... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. Yes, but if it's the latter, do you think the people... That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? You're laying it on a little... What matters is that all...
Dobra.
Just be quick about it.
Znalazłem, królewna mnie zabiła, królewna zabiła mnie, rozerwała nas strzępnie, żeby to było przyjemne. Pozwól, że zacytuję cię ostatniego razu tylko królewna. Dlaczego królewna była w stanie rozerwać mnie na strzępy,
She
gdy...
is just a prince.
Dobra.
Great.
No dobrze, to idziemy do chaty. Czy to
She
będzie...
will lie. Don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. The interior
Ooh.
of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls are chaotic. The blade is your implement.
Ani słowem nie
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the muddy shelf, the blade sitting on the muddy shelf, and the door to the basement. There's definitely... But he says there isn't one.
No dobra. Chcę się spojrzeć, co się jestem przystojny.
If only there was some sort of reflective... You do see it, right? I see all sorts of things, but do you see the... I'm not lying to you. Use your eye.
Podejdź do lustra, no.
Walk up to the... It's
Czy
really...
znowu zniknie?
You
Znowu
reach forward
zniknęło.
and... Well, at least we can all agree now that there's nothing to see here. Case closed. Good work, everyone.
Weź ostrze.
You take the blade... Well, if with that...
Wejdź do piwnicy.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness
O Jezus,
like
o
some
Jezus,
kind
jaka
of massive
mile miłości
maw
od kotka.
waiting to... The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with... Her voice skitters up.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you...
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you? Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any... Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess. Fine, fine.
Dobra,
You're the
let's go.
boss. Thank you. You descend the basement. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick
O,
roots.
teraz znowu ma ogon.
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the wood. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this.
Ja
My
mi
will
dał
is on
ten
the
nóż
line right
teraz.
now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Słuchaj, rozumiem. Ostatnio zrobiło się dziwnie, ale wydaje mi się, że chodzi tutaj o coś większego niż ja i ty i powinniśmy połączyć siły.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone. Ooh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Nie możesz... Czułam dręczące przecież, że bijesz nóż w plecy, jeśli mogę cię stąd wydostać.
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them? But I wouldn't worry. As much as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, the only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event.
Backstabbing event to jest piękny zbitek słów.
She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world. Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's gonna stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but she could very well symbolically do the same thing. See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
Dobra. Nie chcę cię skrzywdzić, ale wyraźnie sobie nie ufam. Przyjmij to jako gest. O, mogę jej dać nóż, zajebiście.
You can't be serious. No, now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I abstain. You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
To nie jest demokracja, damy jej ostrze.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
To zależy od ciebie, dlatego dałem ci... Oj, to ostrze ostatnio podjąłem decyzję i tego żałuję, teraz ty jakąś podejmij. Oboje się boimy, oboje cierpimy. Jeśli jedno z nas czegoś nie zmieni, prawdopodobnie będziemy się tak mordować w nieskończoność. Chcesz tego? Bo ja nie. Stać nas na więcej. To...
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
And then she buries the What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you. I told you. This is what she was like. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
So...
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
Ooh.
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ooh. Ciernie.
You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted against it. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were
I
bleeding
fixed her.
out.
Dokładnie. Kocie! Kurwa, przestań! Nie będziesz mi kradł rzeczy z biurka, no gościu.
I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated on the future.
Głos zakochanego.
Oh, a visionary. I like it.
Jesus
Come
Christ.
on. Gladly, my dear fellow, by cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Traveling is a bit of a passion of mine.
O Jesus, nienawidzę tego typa.
Now, where are we off to? Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love. She hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know,
Nie, oportunista to jest ten koleś ze szkoły, którego całą tożsamością jest jego kasa.
Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now? Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently done twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up.
No dobra. To miejsce wygląda inaczej, czego się zmienia.
If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which, in turn, likely means her influence is spreading. Someone's in the know.
Ooh.
I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her. You don't have to worry about me. My head's always empty. Except for thoughts of her.
Przepiękne. To jesteśmy kwita. Jestem pewien, że ona to zrozumie, ale zobaczymy, co sama będzie miała do powiedzenia, kiedy dotrzemy do chaty.
Good. Playing both sides. That's what smart people do, and you're the smartest in the room. I'm not sure it counts as playing both sides if people can hear you doing it. Buddy, you're thinking in far too few dimensions. There's layers to doing this right, and I'm pretty sure the one making the choices gets that. Trust in the plan. Trust in what plan? The decider's plan. Sure, we don't know what the plan is yet, but that's part of the whole trusting thing, isn't it? A good leader knows how and when to keep things secret, and sometimes a good leader even knows to keep things secret from himself.
Doskonała logika.
There isn't a plan, and that's the whole point. We're supposed to be guided by emotion. We're supposed to passionately live in the moment, and I'm sure that when the time comes, those passions will tell us to set our
Ale tak very
princess
punchable
free.
face.
If I were you, I'd remember what she's done. You know how dangerous she is. And you should know that someone like her shouldn't be let loose upon the world.
Wygląda na to, że podchodzisz do całej kwestii zapętlenia z dystansem.
What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world. The more times you run through this, the more likely it is that you'll fail. You've already failed twice. So you knew this could happen. Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first. I'd really rather not get into it. I don't care about where we came from, and I don't care to discuss the theory of anything. I yearn only to bring her freedom. I'm here to feel, not to think. Then we can all move on and forget what I said about failure. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. My world, at least. Sounds like you've probably doomed a couple of others already. I need to stop talking. Think happy thoughts.
Dobra, idziemy do chaty.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. You know what you have.
Do chaty.
The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore.
Lubię maki, maki
Ruins
są ładne.
merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. We've already shown her our heart. Now she has to show us hers. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side.
Chcę... Dobra. Co z lustrem?
You're right, the mirror is back. There isn't anywhere for us to go. But there isn't a mirror. I still don't get his angle here. Either way, I say we take a look. It feels like it's been forever since we've actually seen ourselves. For all we know,
No dobra,
our
idziemy
feathers
obejrzeć
are- Yeah, we
odbicie.
can't go around looking disheveled. So, is the door to the basement... I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room.
Dobra, lustro.
You step forward and
Teraz nam
approach the
pozwoli się
scorched
zobaczyć?
entryway leading to the basement. You know what you have to do. Wipe away it went away when we touched it last.
Wyczyścić.
Reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow
Nie ma
entrance
lustra.
leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable enough. Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust the well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
Dobra, lecimy.
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the dark. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
Chcę znaleźć sposób, żeby się stąd wydostać na dobre. Chcę cię uwolnić, mówię poważnie, chcę porozmawiać tak poważnie. Zacznijmy od porozmawiania.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
Nie, przy tym, żeby się śmiać, możemy cię uwolnić, jeśli mi na to pozwolisz.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
Nie tylko ty pragniesz wolności, jestem tak samo uwięziony jak ty. Wydaje mi się, że musimy opuścić to miejsce razem. No, tak.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Czy mogę wziąć ostrze?
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Zawsze pytajcie o zgodę.
Okay.
No dobrze, no.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that
Jesus
make your
Christ.
heart aflutter? Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her.
Boże, robimy z nią trauma bonding, to trochę straszne.
We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings. Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been drawn. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
You know. Wolniej
Yes.
ją.
What a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are... That's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to
Jesus.
help you all free her.
Oportunista jest nawet gorszy niż zakochany.
And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade. Such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its
Dostaję
hero.
obrażenia psychiczne od tego głosu.
You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before... She smiles, her hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. You should have kissed her, you fool. It was the perfect moment. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield.
O, okej.
Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn an innocent like her to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
No dobrze, spróbujmy się wydostać.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
No
She's
dobrze.
Where did she... There's that mirror again.
Okej. Wszystko będzie dobrze, zaufaj mi, już tu byliśmy, a ty zawsze
It
się
feels so
boisz.
bad. Like looking into it right now is... Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? If they think it's bad...
To nie koniec, cokolwiek jest po drugiej stronie na pewno jest miłe. Do zobaczenia po drugiej stronie będzie dobrze.
Okay. She'll be there waiting. Finally. We're going.
Podejdź do lustra. No. Okej, widać coś więcej niż poprzednio.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready.
Jesteś tą samą istotą, którą byłeś wcześniej, jak bardzo się zmieniłaś, jakie to...
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Wszystko, co mówisz, wydaje się zagadką, czy możesz mi dać mi jedną prostą
I'm
odpowiedź?
sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Czy wiesz, co chcesz zrobić, gdy wszystko się skończy?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold, but in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Gdy wracam, czuję się, jakby się...
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own.
A,
They
okej.
are useless to us now.
Byłaś dla mnie rzeczywista niż ktokolwiek inny,
Why
dziękuję.
wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Co chcesz, żebym ci przyniósł następnym
Gifts
razem?
aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy isn't seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Okej. Ile powłok muszę ci
If
przynieść?
I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due.
Dobra, czyli pewnie jeszcze ze dwie co najmniej. No dobra.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only
Czekajcie, wypuszczę
thoughts and
Rudego.
perspectives. They are not me.
Dobra, jakie macie wrażenia w ogóle? Jak wam się podoba?
The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
No dobrze. Co masz do powiedzenia tej powłoce?
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve.
O,
Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
no dobra, to idziemy.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
No dobra.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
No dobra, to możemy iść.
you make your
Dobrze. Dobra, i teraz nie weźmiemy noża.
the interior of the cabin. The blade is your the door to the.
Przybywam na ratunek.
How many times do I have?
Zobaczę, co da się zrobić.
You're only making this.
Okej, pójdę sprawdzić, czy jest
Okej.
klucz.
You try the door.
Wracamy po schodach z powrotem.
Make your way to the bottom of. Fine.
Dobrze.
We won't have any. As the princess. Wait.
No dobra, i
watch.
spróbujmy ją ostrzec. Od razu. Wow, w ogóle nie mam tej opcji. W ogóle, zobaczcie, niedostępna jest ta opcja.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it?
Your body lunges forward. The blade. But the princess dodged. Stop it. The
Opieraj się.
blade. Move. As your body remains frozen in.
We both know this.
She nervously reaches towards you.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest.
Oh no!
Stay strong. For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort
Czyli
of
jest jeszcze jedna
heroic
ścieżka.
gesture.
Tutaj.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again.
I'm sorry.
O Jesus.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. It can't just end like this. Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. Everything goes dark.
Dobra, co teraz? Dama, okej.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
No dobra, to...
A warning. But she will lie. If only you knew what. Excuse.
Forget he said it. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life
Jesus
last
Christ.
time. He's trying to keep us. Last time? What? I think he just likes to hear the sound of it.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be
Typie, nie syp!
They
Nie
must be
syp!
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not. Don't pay their bickering any mind.
Idziemy do chaty. Co teraz z chatą się stanie?
The interior of
Ooh.
the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table. The blade is your implement.
Podejdź do lustra,
You walk up to...
What are you talking about?
wyczyść lustro.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
But there was a mirror a second.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know.
No
We
dobra,
can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
to wejdź do piwnicy.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think?
O, zdecydowanie jest przesadą.
We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two. Waiting for you to come back? You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done.
We damned a whole world. But
Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
Co się stało po tym, jak zginąłem?
You died, and now we're talking. I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care
Bardzo
last
dziwne.
time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling... No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
A zanim zaczęliśmy rozmawiać...
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
O Jesus, ale mam ciary dyskomfortu, jak ona tak mówi.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. And all that's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Nie chcę końca świata.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is...
Najgorsze jest to, że ona brzmi jak wszystkie postaci kobiece z gier komputerowych przez kilka dekad, nie?
Not so...
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation. No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You're what? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain tight depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Chcę, byś powiedziała, czego chcesz.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for...
Musisz chcieć czegoś więcej niż tylko mnie uszczęśliwić.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting...
Musisz zabrać samą siebie, dopiero co mnie poznać, nie możesz powiedzieć całego szczęścia na mnie.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it.
Dobra, ewidentnie coś tu się świeci, boję się. Co jeśli nic nie zrobimy, jeśli po prostu tutaj zostaniemy, nikomu nie stanie się krzywda? Razem ułożymy sobie życie. Ja się... Chcę tylko stąd wyjść, później zdecydujemy co dalej.
That sounds perfect.
Oh, phew. She's back to normal. Normal? What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. Absolutely.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this.
And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
That's a familiar mood.
Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to...
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Myślę, że zdołamy je otworzyć, jeśli spróbujemy razem.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door. Together. Blech. And... the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
I told you our love was insurmountable.
You and the princess make your way upstairs.
O nie!
The blade, that's right. There's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
Nie zrobię
You're
tego.
enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
You know, if her walking out that door is really gonna end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone.
That's not how this works.
Yes, what he said. That's not how this works.
No dobrze, zobaczmy tego. Zobaczmy, co będzie, jak nie wyjdziemy.
What a romantic suggestion. You're right. We don't.
That's exactly what I just suggested. Was it not romantic when I suggested it?
Did you suggest that? I wasn't listening.
O,
You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not wooed?
She's not wooed by you because staying here and building a life together isn't a solution. It isn't anything. It's a...
no dobrze.
Okay. That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you want.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did he go?
Oh, is
Okay.
he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too...
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
No dobra. Co się teraz zadzieje?
She's gone. Is that a...
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see.
No dobra. Co się zmieniło w odbiciu? I've win... Okej. Czemu zanikłem teraz?
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
No dobrze.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Czy wiesz, coś jest...
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is...
No dobra. Sprzeczności nie istnieją, co to znaczy? Jak znosisz bycie sprzecznością?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
No dobra. Ile powłok muszę ci przynieść,
We will
no?
know when we near our destination.
Okej.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a
Dobra, let's go!
You make your
Idziemy. Dobrze. Dobra, Jacy
interior
Bartłomiej.
of the cabin. The blade is
No dobra, weźmy teraz ostrze. Musimy je wziąć.
The door to her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
A, zniknęły opcje. Hej, przecież...
Oh, are you now?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock. She's so cold. Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
You step forward. You're
Oh? No talking then? Fine. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason. So, you should just...
She's unarmed.
No dobra, ale teraz... No dobra, możemy zrobić to, co... Możemy zrobić to, co zrobiliśmy za pierwszym razem, czyli możemy ją zabić, tylko tym wtedy musimy zabić siebie jeszcze. Nie, zupełnie nie mówiłem o Piechocińskim.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Patrz na królewnę z użytym mieczem, ściskając
You
ostrze w
stare at the
dłoni.
princess. She squints back. The two of you are gonna
Patrz jeszcze intensywniej na królewnę.
squint even. So does she. At least nobody's dying, right? You're going to have to make a choice. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where you're... Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed. The shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more. Each impact, we can still turn this around. You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, the two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
The princess gasps,
okay.
her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Przeciwniczka.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay.
No dobra.
A warning. Before she will lie. Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess will do and say whatever. Crystal. Let's just...
Funky. To co, teraz bijemy się z nią do oporu?
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on. The blade is your...
Dobra, bierzemy
You
ostrze.
take the blade...
Co teraz będzie zamiast lustra?
You reach for... But there was... And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you as you descend the final step. The form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes! I'm going to have fun, What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. Don't you get it? We've...
Couldn't have said it better, Mike. Alright, fine. What? You've already met the princess has already met you. The two of you killed each other. Maybe. You did seem to just gloss over. Of course I glossed over it. When a colleague says something insane, glossing over it is one of the best ways to stay focused and keep moving forward.
Dobrze, dobrze.
You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Well,
Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay! As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
to brzmi jak peszek. Spokojnie spiszę się na medal.
Great. Now focus up.
Let's go!
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement. Here we go. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover. She almost looks disappointed.
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world... She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow. Think it through. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. Do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little... This weak little dance isn't working. Just tough. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think over...
Do you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. Everything goes dark.
The eye of the needle. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods. If you weren't so damned afraid of what... Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We die. So what? You'd have us cower in a... No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she... Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other.
Dobry na co jeden.
Trust you.
Dobra, nie rozmawialiśmy obszernie o tym, jak inaczej wygląda to miejsce, nawet nie nazywam tego lasem, wygląda jakby... Dobra, a co jeśli nie zgadzam się z planem, trzeba wam zrobić coś innego, nieważne co się wydarzy. Wygląda na to, że wszystkie odpowiedzi czekają nas w chacie. Let's go. Let's go!
It's long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. Hope you've given no last advice for us? No, from what I gather, you've heard it all before. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we...
Idziemy do chaty.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar blade is your implement. See? We have even less space than before. We'll take it.
Bierzemy ostrze.
Take the blade. Good.
Podejdź do lustra.
You step forward. All we see is that this really is smells of nothing. You
Rozbij.
bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open. So why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked. Her voice, bold and fierce and...
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a...
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make...
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down. I want to face you head on. I want an equal.
We need to get closer. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon,
Ciekawe co
there is
teraz.
solid ground beneath you. Remember every crack and crevice. You'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly, her face widens.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Dlaczego nie chcesz być wolna?
This again? What does free even mean? Here and there, none of that matters. I'm always... Why do you act like you know me better than I know myself? I had what I wanted. I had something perfect and it ended. And now that it's gone, you just... It's more than teasing. It's cruel. It's I know what I want. And I'm...
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward. Ignore... Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up as you near the top. Hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on.
Anywhere you go.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel. The cabin door finally in.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why... Little bird, where do you think you're...
We're almost. Don't think about almost. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a day.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge?
Do it. Be swift, strike true, be where she's. You leap from the grass and bound towards the.
Charging me head on?
Her body braces for impact. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. We're actually going to pull this off. You just might. But don't let it get to your head.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from... More! Keep going, we can't stop, now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us! But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You felt something feels wrong.
And?
Trochę na to liczyłem, ale nie byłem pewien, że to się stanie.
She's gone. Where does she... And there's that mirror. This doesn't feel right. It feels... That thing...
Screw the mirror, we...
No dobrze. Co teraz? co teraz będzie w lustrze.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Gdy wysyłasz mnie z powrotem, nie jestem sam. Przemawiają do mnie głosy. Niektóre z nich to ja, ale jeden z nich to coś innego. Nazywam go narratorem i on chce, bym cię zabił. Czy masz swojego narratora? Czy Foki go miały?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Gdy go znajdę, w końcu uzyskamy
Do
odpowiedzi.
not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
No dobrze. No to lećmy.
One, whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me.
No dobra.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here.
Your Honor?
Let's go!
You may...
Zobaczmy, co się zadzieje.
The interior of the blade.
No tu muszę wziąć ostrze.
The door to the...
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just...
Look how Don't you dare. It's fine. The blade
Thank you.
against your will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reason.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Jestem tutaj, bo możesz spowodować koniec
Don't
świata.
just tell her that.
No dobra, to już było.
Is that why they threw me? I don't remember much about...
Just how long has she been down?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so...
Nie zrobili tego.
dangerous?
Szczerze mówiąc, jestem bardziej skłonny uwierzyć tobie niż im.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart.
How sweet.
No, gra jest bardzo fajna,
Now be a
zakryta.
pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Okej.
You walk up to their large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere up doubtful.
Well, you do have that big, sharp...
She speaks. If we were
No
stuck
dobra,
down here for
ale
long
to-
enough, you attempt to make someone else. Your shouts, you're here. You try the door. I'll repeat. You make your way easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam, the knife.
You won't.
No dobrze, no to
Again, you cut. The blade is. She didn't so much as. How is she so
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any. As the princess. Wait. This. Watch me.
Wow, no i teraz mam obie opcje. Jesus Christ.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too...
Your body. Stop.
Teraz muszę ją
Thank
już
you. Swing your arm
mieć.
towards
Dobrze.
her throat, but she's ready for you. Drop the blow. She lets go.
O, zmierzyła mi
Faster than
rękę.
you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone shatter. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel.
No dobra.
Dang.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight. It can't just. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark.
No dobra. Wieża. Tu jeszcze nie
You're
byliśmy.
on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path, you're here.
Dobra. Do chaty.
A warning. She will lie. Can we tone down the pessimism?
pokonany
Being a
teraz był.
pessimist. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge. I agree. Rescue. So please, if that's what you want.
No dobra. No.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more
Podoba mi się to, że po tym jak nas pokonałaś, sztylet jest trudno dostępny.
Is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched. The blade. What do we feel? We don't feel.
Weź ostrze,
take-
no.
The door to the basement creaks open. It's still a stone basement. If the princess, her booming.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs.
You weren't kidding. Well, you need to get down there. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decision. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the princess towers over you. Almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well.
The little bird has returned to me. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's. Drop it.
Spoko.
The blade slips from your fingers. We didn't have to do that, and yet you did. She's so much more. Oh, I understand what's going on, and
Kneel.
Spoko.
on her command, you fall to the floor, knees.
That's my good little bird. No. The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
Uuu.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Yes, mommy.
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It does. But why did she say the last time we met? That's not right. That can't be right. She's right. We've been here before, and we've died here before. Pitifully. We might as well. He's being melodramatic, but the point stands. Well, I'll be damned. Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off.
To, że możesz zniszczyć świat, nie oznacza, że musisz to zrobić, możesz być czymkolwiek chcesz.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Jestem na twoje rozkazy, zobaczmy, co się stanie.
Your will was so easily broke. All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Ooh!
Break my chain.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a... All you need to do is believe it's been done. Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Nice. Ale nie bierzesz jej za rękę i już tego nie zrobisz, czas odejść.
Is that a...
Dobra. Co się z nami teraz stało?
This doesn't... I don't want to look at it.
Tylko mam lekki dylemat, mam gierkę na wishliście, a chciałbym kiedyś ograć, ale za bardzo mnie wciągnęła. Ja myślę, że tu jest jeszcze sporo ścieżek, których w ogóle nie tknęliśmy, więc...
I think you know what I am.
A więc to ty jesteś narratorem.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. I am an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Czy każdy narrator naprawdę był kimś
Of
innym?
course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Masz cokolwiek do powiedzenia od siebie, skoro jesteś taki pełny po tym wszystkim, co nam zrobiłeś, myślisz, że ktoś zasługuje na to, by żyć?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Czy to cię boli, gdy części ciebie tak odpadają?
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
Za każdym razem, gdy o coś pytam, wydaje mi się, że częściej pęka.
I'm aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
Więc wiesz o zapytaniu. Tyle razy, gdy cię spotkaliśmy, zaprzeczałeś, że to w ogóle możliwe, czemu mnie okłamywałeś.
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. And for all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
Ludzie na zewnątrz poza ścianami tego konstruktu, czy oni o nim wiedzą? Czy wiedzą, co chcesz, bym im zrobił?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
Ta. A jaka jest moja prawdziwa
You're
tożsamość?
the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Jeszcze nie zdecydowałem, co zrobię. Muszę się przekonać, co ona o tym wszystkim myśli.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
No dobra.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
No dobra, zróbmy to teraz.
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Strasznie nie lubię koncepcji świata bez śmierci, więc... To nie możesz powiedzieć tylko do tego, że albo cię zniszczę, albo uwolnię. Jeśli zawsze miałaś stać się tym, to jaki był sens moich działań? Czy to w ogóle miało znaczenie, którym ścieżkami podążałem, skoro wszystkie tak prowadziły do tego momentu?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand.
But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies
Bla,
it.
bla, bla, bla.
Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, you are nothing.
A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being.
Trwała się na rzeczka wspólnego społeczeństwa, mówisz o życiu i śmierci, zmianie i stagnacji, ale nie o to w tym wszystkim chodziło.
Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me.
I crush you, I bleed you, I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. I want those feelings back. You run, but you do not run away. You take me somewhere new, somewhere we can dance like we used to. But I could not follow your steps. There was no better gift for me than the gift of defeat. You showed me how much more I could be. We made each other better. To have no challenges to fade into nothing. A life without obstacles is no life at all.
Bezpośrednio bo jesteśmy się lepsi dzięki temu, co przeszliśmy, prawda?
We have. Look at what we are now, and see how small we were then.
Your love light drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever, consumed by true belief there was nothing that could hold us back.
Zawsze chodziło tylko o nas, dwoje ludzi zmuszonych do ranienia siebie nawzajem, raz za razem, a nie musimy już siebie ranić.
You cling to your emotions, pain is suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict.
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
W chwili, gdy tu przybyłem, wiesz, jakby świat nie mógł istnieć bez ciebie, ale ja istnieję bez ciebie.
Have you? Or is what you think of as independence merely an illusion? Without me, you can have no contrast, and without contrast, you have no shape.
A web of nerves, laid upon a web of nerves, the shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now, and you chose to pull apart that weave. But you did not choose to end me. We were still one, but we were also separate, and we were free. We were as we are. Will you excise that part of yourself now that you see me from yet another angle?
Może być między nami miłość i konflikt, piękna i brzydka, bez angażowania w to całej rzeczywistości.
We are the whole of reality.
Gdy wasze starcie ustaje, królewna cofa się drżąc.
You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Dobra, zapisz. Nie wiem jaka jest odpowiedź, ale musi być coś innego. To nie może być to. Nie zabijecie, ale nie pozwolecie się uwolnić. Szczerze mówiąc jestem w tak... To co jak co, ale ten metafizyczny aspekt, co to znaczy ją uwolnić, a co to znaczy ją zabić, jest dla mnie kompletnie... przelatuje mi nad głową kompletnie.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth. This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go. What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever
Hardo.
you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Nie masz pojęcia jak dobrze cię słyszeć.
It's good to be here. Seems like you've been doing all right on your own, but she's too many things at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get past all that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there.
It's time to resume.
She's relentless, isn't she? Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
Czy jesteśmy sami, czy ktoś nie dotarł do
It's
chaty?
just us. I think the rest of them are still out there.
Wejdź do piwnicy.
No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far. The stairs. Do you remember the first time
I don't know what you want for us.
she sounded just like that? Timid and down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
There you are. You look just like you did when we first met. Let's talk for a bit. Maybe we can figure this out.
Przepraszam za wszystkie krzywdy, które ci wyrządziłem.
Don't apologize. The first time we met, I ate you. I'm really sorry about that. And I also think that it kind of outweighs anything you did to me. We both let things get a little out of hand. But we don't have to let that stop us from being who we want to be.
You know, when she puts it like that,
Yeah, I missed you so much. Not that we've ever really been apart, but still. It feels like it's been so long. Like
Aw.
this is some sort of a big reunion.
Skoro to już koniec wszystkiego, to może zdradzisz mi wreszcie swoje
I
imię.
don't have one, and I think I like it better that way. But you can call me Princess if you want. You know, you never told me your...
quiet it is.
O,
Not hero. Oh well, quiet will do. That's always been us, hasn't it?
Chyba nie chcę być Bogiem.
Me neither. It's so big. It's so much responsibility. And at the end of the day, it just feels like waking up in another basement. It's something we never asked for, trapping us somewhere we never wanted to be.
No dobra, to nigdy nie było fair wobec żadnego z nas, co?
I don't know. We made it to the other side, and we found each other. I think that means all of the bad was worth it.
O, that's very nice. Co sądzisz o niej, o tym, kim ona by chciała, żebyśmy
I
byli?
don't know. I don't think it's fair to judge her. It must be so lonely, thinking that she's everything that matters in the world.
No my już jesteśmy praktycznie na
Thinking
końcu,
that
Wojtek,
she's the only
coś,
one
nie?
with all the answers.
To są
I never
raczej
thought
ostatnie
about it
minuty.
like that. That does sound lonely, doesn't it?
No dobra, gdybyśmy tak po prostu stąd odeszli.
Can we actually do that? What would that even mean? Where would we go?
Weź ją za rękę. Zawsze chciałem odejść z tobą, ale nie odpowiadałem mi bycie Bogiem. Chcę, abyśmy przeszli przez drzwi tej chaty tacy, jacy jesteśmy. Po prostu ty i ja.
I want that too.
O,
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's
Aw.
just the two of you.
jesteś pewien, że nie chcesz iść z nami?
It wouldn't feel right, but I'll be okay.
O,
I don't think I'll be alone for long either. I'm sure I can find the others.
trzymając się za ręce, tej królewna opuszcza cieplicę po raz ostatni. Podczas waszej wspinaczki panuje cisza, komfortowa cisza wypełniająca przestrzeń, która kiedyś była przypełniona przemocą, słowami i hałaśliwymi myślami. Ale w tej ciszy jest energia, elektryczność, oczekiwania na nieznane. Na szczycie schodów królewna zatrzymuje się, wpatrzona w drzwi chaty. Przecież jak jej dłoń drży w twojej. Po raz pierwszy w swoim długim i krótkim istnieniu jest niepewna siebie. Nie ma już żadnej roli do odegrania i wie o tym, a jednak wciąż istnieje. A potem przychodzi przez pokój do drzwi prowadzących na zewnątrz, ciągnąc cię za sobą z ekscytacją.
Come on, princess. It's just a door. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. This is really it. Whatever happens next will be completely new.
Żaden z nas nie wie, co czeka na zewnątrz. O, kocham cię. Okej, we can do this. Udźwigniemy, kocham cię.
I love you too.
O. And we're done. And we're done, ladies and gentle ladies. To było zupełnie inne zakończenie niż to pierwsze. Ładna historia. Ładna. Tak jak mówię, troszeczkę mnie ta strona boskości za bardzo nad moją głową latała. Ale I liked it. Mam nadzieję, że wy też. I mam nadzieję, że dobrze bawiliście się ze mną tutaj. O, popłakałeś się? Filip, you're awesome. Jakby, powiem wam szczerze, że w ostatnich jakby fazach tego miałem takie... Jestem chyba w bardzo innym punkcie w swoim życiu, gdzie pewne pytania, które gra zadaje, nie są już moimi pytaniami. W sensie, ja już mam swoje odpowiedzi na te pytania. Myślę, że to też dużo zrobiło. Krzysztof Wasilewski, asystent do spraw dźwięku. Nice. Specjalnie podziękowania naszych zwierzaków. Wednesday, Spoons oraz Nubs. Axolotla mają! Jest fantastycznie udźwiękowiona i w ogóle ta cała strona dźwiękowa, to jak to było czytane, fucking amazing. Naprawdę mega, mega cool. Ile achievementów zrobiłem? Mam 23 achievementy ze 131. Także tu wydaje się, że tych opcji jest w cholerę i ciut. Aczkolwiek absolutnie nie jestem tym typem człowieka, który ma cierpliwość, żeby wszystkie te rzeczy zbadać. Natomiast liczba opcji jest wow. Jestem bardzo ciekaw. Część rzeczyków jest jakaś hiper faktycznie niszowa. Ale z tego co widzę, większość tych, które ja wziąłem, są raczej popularne. Najrzadszy achievement, który mam, to jest taki, który 21,3. No, najrzadszy achievement, który mam, to jest 21,3. Nie, ja mam wrażenie, że tu jest bardzo dużo opcji. No, polecajki Bazuki Nier są jak zawsze bardzo, bardzo spoko. Słuchajcie. To było dzisiaj. Dzisiaj chcieliśmy pograć w trochę innym tempie, posiedzieć w trochę innej atmosferze. Mam nadzieję, że wam się podobało. Zaraz będziemy kończyć i zobaczymy się po weekendzie z bardziej tradycyjnym programem i z powrotem do Frostpunka gdzieś po drodze. A w przyszły weekend będzie spotkanie z patronami, więc jeżeli jesteście wspierającymi, to jest dobry moment, żeby się zainteresować patronite.pl Ralindel. A więc teraz dwie nieskończoności u Caroline Dakrowa, pojedyncze nieskończoności Adam Lendas, Michał Gajek, Aleksander Bratkowski, No Killa, Flavius Ayember oraz Marok W. A dawcy pizzy na Połowskiera, na Fe, Dawid Korzeniowski, 0198, Konrad Samrion, Fingal Shamisen, Puchcio, Strażnik Sanktuarium, Ala Marciniak, członek Komisji WZK i Janek oraz Kolmi Kerdok. Czekajcie. Osoby dające kawę z ciastkiem: Michał Piotrowski, Patrycja Zwardoń, Krzysztof Marchewka, Zygmunt Brzęczek, Jacek Maksymowicz, Jacek Stolarski, Kartografia, Bojamana Marcymak, Almady Gamer, Wiktor Rakowski, Kuba z Poznania, Borsuk Cukrowy, Adrian Mrozik, Smutny Michał, Michał Skoczyński, Nikodem Cupryś, Andrzej Dubiel, Joanna Karpeta, Proton Nowy, Enkryptionus, Chris Poland, Aiden Kri, Bartomiej, Koci Pilotaż, Marcin Lalek, Gruby Mephisto, Sylwanelka, Prometał, Hypatia, Liczkość, Deoprzan, Radamor, Eryk Fos, Behanort, Mapipaj, Fukoro, Nat, Misza, Aneku, Silius, Szefo oraz Erbirk. A dawczynie kawy: Szymon Popławski, Jarosz Lublina, George Soros, Patryk 128, Łukasz Ciesielski, Masasz Masasze, Tofu Wędzone, Archipan Kreator Wszechkosmobytu, Maksymilian Kocimski, Krzysztof Grębowski, Kersium, Makary Jasiński, Kot Gruszka, Daniel Koć, Justyna Lech, miejscowy Olaf Barbarian, Vampire Lords, Emil, Miku 39X, Jasiu 2, Kicerołek, Kropster, Dom Egg, Adam, Tomuś, Kocureł, Snawkin, Beowulf oraz Nowa. I wreszcie Dawcy Herbaty, co za dziwna nazwa, Jacek Wiśniewski, Marchew Zwyczajna, Tomasz Olszewski, Monika Piechodzińska, Arkadiusz Gumiński, Ryszard Bryliński, Socjalistka w Polsce, Bartosz Zawadzki, Modboni 3, Lane from Wired, Ernest Palimski, Hubert Mazur, Michał Smereka, Jakub Bździel, Łukasz Pluskota, Albert Stąpro, Dawid Kozłowski, Ania Jano, Ecie Pecie, KTBM 32, Lakardar, Antybristler, Bochenek, Czykowi, Aniela M, Sonny Link, Solas, Łukasz, Adrian Wubek, Misiek, Daru, Mirechia, Łukasz, Claudine, Feiner, Fexes, Jarmir, Mango, IC47, Relilos, Zylwo oraz Franek. Jesteście wspaniałe osoby. Mam nadzieję, że zobaczymy się szybciutko znowu. I aloha!